that should be the recording started. So maybe, yeah, Nicola, if you want to.
Yeah. Brilliant. Lovely. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to join you today. It's great to see you all. It's great to meet you, Joe. I know we've exchanged some emails, but it's great to see you as well. Yes, so I've been asked to come and tell you a little bit about our DPSI. As I said, I do have a presentation, so let me quickly just bring that up for you. And then I'll run through what I've got on there. And then obviously, if you have any questions, I'm obviously happy to help. I'm not able to share. Are you able to allow me to screen share, please? Oh, I think it's coming on now. Screen sharing. Is that okay? Can you see it?
Yes,
I think,
yes, I can. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm just gonna make it bigger. There we go. Okie doke. So yes, I'm here to speak to you from the International School of Linguists. My name is Nicola Davis. I'm the Partnership and Quality Director for the school. Personally, I've been in the company for 7 years now, and I actually started as a student. I did my level 6 myself with ISL, and then it progressed from there. So I'll go through who we are, what we offer, how it looks like with us, and then I'm sure that will generate plenty of discussion. So first of all, who are we? We have been an online training and exam center for over 12 years. The key word there is online. We are fully online. We used to have a registered office, but we never used to do in-person assessments. So we have got a really good system going for remote assessments. The qualifications that we offer are, this is important for you, of course, to know, are in line with national vocational standards. They are fully accredited by Ofqual, and they are recognized by all public service bodies. So that means if you do your DPSI with ISL, you will be able to work for the Ministry of Justice, Home Office, police, as well as obviously all the other community areas, the NHS, social services, and so on. Also, if you do your DPSI or DipTrans with ISL, you can then also register with NRPSI, NRPST, CIOL, ITI. So basically, these qualifications that we run are equally accepted across the industry as those, for example, of CIOL. When I joined the meeting, I heard you, Joe, talking about CIOL. I just want to make it clear, we're great friends. We have huge respect for CIOL. They have delivered the DPSI for longer, obviously, than we have. They're the ones who sort of established it, but over time, other organizations have also started delivering it. One question that we often get asked is, what is the difference between the CIOL, DPSI, and the ISL one? So I would say the key difference, and the only difference really, is the awarding body. So CIOL have their own awarding body, which is sort of part of their umbrella of organizations, whereas the awarding body that we use to accredit our courses is called ICQ Awards. So that is the only difference. It has no bearing in any practical sense on the type of work or the range of work you can get, okay? Complexity-wise, could you say is one harder than the other? No, because the standards are the same. So the standards are set in line with Ofqual requirements. So we have to be meeting the same standards, the same level of complexity, the volume of, even, down to how long the exams are, how many words are used roughly in the written translations, the topics used. So we're all following the same pattern. So you don't have to be worried that going with somebody who's not the established name would mean anything bad for you, okay? Another sort of key difference that we have compared to CIOL is we run exams regularly. We run them monthly and for all languages. So we don't need a minimum number of languages. So this is, I think, again, important for a cohort like yours, where you might have 20 people, but you might only have 2 of each language. it's not a problem for us, and we wouldn't say you have to wait until, I don't know, November or next year to sit the exam. So that's not us trying to be competitive. It's just a difference in how we deliver the qualifications, because this is all we do. We don't do anything else, whereas CIL do lots of other things. Right, so in terms of qualifications that we run, we do the level 3 certificate. We do the level 6 DPSI, which is the one we're going to talk about. We do the level 6 DCI, also the law pathway, and then we offer the level 7 diploma in translation. These are the only 4 qualifications that we deliver. Because we're fully online, the key requirement there is access to a laptop or a tablet. You do need to have that online access, but as you're all here, that probably means you've got one. So just a little general information about the DPSI, which you're probably already aware of. Level 6 assesses oral and written skills. So you do need to know how to speak, read, and write in both your native language and in English. You need access to a tablet or a laptop because all our training, preparation, and exams are done remotely. We use an online platform for our online learning material, and then we use Zoom for exams. And just, again, this is probably something you've covered within your course, but the exam covers a variety of things, which I'll go into in a bit more detail in the next slide. But ultimately, for the oral setting, we're looking at a video role play in a legal setting. So you'll be playing the role of the interpreter between a legal professional who's speaking English and the non-English speaker, who could be a defendant or a suspect or I don't know, an illegal immigrant, or it could be anything really, depending on the role. And then you are also expected to complete a sight translation from and into English, and then a written translation from and into English. So to confirm, it is an exam-based qualification, and these are the 5 units that I've just mentioned. So you've got your role play with the consecutive and simultaneous interpreting, and then the remaining units 2 to 5. In a practical sense, the way we run exams, as I said, they are done on Zoom. We do them over 2 days. So in day 1, you would do the first 3 units, which are the oral units, and this takes roughly 1 hour. So you would be allocated a 1-hour slot somewhere between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on a work day. And in that 1-hour slot, you would do all 3 units. Unit 1, the role play, takes roughly 25 to 30 minutes, so about half of the allocated time. And then your 2 sight translations are 15 minutes each. What that means, you have 5 minutes to read the text, which is shown to you on the screen, and then 10 minutes to convert it into oral rendition in your language. Okay, and so it's 15 minutes per direction. So that's your day 1 units. And then on day 2, we would do the written translations. Now you get an hour each for the written translation, so an hour each way, plus we allow 15 minutes for the bit of admin to get the work over to us. So it just takes just over 2 hours. Sorry, I just need to move this because it's in the way. Right, and as I mentioned earlier, exams take place once a month. So as soon as you're ready to sit the exam, we would get you booked in. What we normally say to learners is, when they sign up with us, is with a DPSI, we give them a 6-month deadline. So this might be slightly different for yourselves if you chose to come to us, because you would be coming from or off the back of a course. So you might feel that you are ready a lot sooner. But for people who come to us not having done any preparation before, that's why we give them the extra time. So within those 6 months, you can access the materials. We have an induction module on the portal where we talk about what to expect for the exam, how to prepare, the technical element. Again, this is what Joe was mentioning when I joined, about making sure that you know what to expect, that you are ready. You've got your notepad, you've got your dictionary, you've got your devices that you need. So you've got access to all of that information ahead of the exam. And then, we get you booked in and you sit the exam when you're ready. In terms of the costs, I've listed them below, and as I said, I will be giving you a PDF, or I'll be sharing a PDF of this so you can click the links. The prices are listed on there. You can split the payments into interest-free installments. If we are giving you a 6-month deadline, the most number of installments you can have would be 4. So that would mean, so for example, 699 divided by 4, you would pay in 4 months, consecutive months, and then you can book your exam for month 5 or month 6. If you wanted to book the exam sooner, so say, as I said, you come and you're ready and you're ready to go and you just want to get it over and done with, we can do that. But you would need to pay the amount in full in order for us to be able to run the exam for you. We offer lots of different options, but I've only put 2 on there, which I feel might be the most relevant. The first one is just the full exam, no preparation materials. So this is just basically to get you on and in front of the examiner. The cost is £699 for the exam. That's all 5 units, 1 attempt. We also have a registration fee of £35 and a certificate fee of £150. These are charged not by us, but by the awarding body. So it's basically to be able to register you with the awarding body as a learner, and then to be able to generate a certificate for you once you have completed the exam. You get 2 versions of the certificate. You get PDF version and a paper version, which will be posted to your address. In our experience, most places, most agencies accept the electronic copy. That's not a problem. The only organization that we are aware of, or I am personally, is NRPSI, who still like to see the paper copy before they can register somebody. But yeah, you get both anyway, so it's not a problem. The other option that we offer, and I have mentioned it here, and I'll explain why. This is a self-study preparation course plus the full exam. So the difference there is only £150. And in that £150, you get some e-learning material, which might not be that relevant to you because of this course, but you also get past exam papers. And I don't know, I haven't had a chance to ask whether, how many past papers you provide. But either way, these are past papers that were actually used at ISL previously. So, again, this might give an indication of volume of content, complexity of language, the topics that have come up in the past. So you get 30 past papers basically with this option, plus of course the exam, and then you've got your registration fee and certificate fee as previously. And that's it. I did say it was going to be a short presentation, so I'm going to stop sharing, and if you have any questions, feel free.
I just have one question, if you don't mind, please, first of all.
Sure.
So you mentioned about the level 3 public interpreting community, and also I just want to know what is different between that one you just mentioned with our DPSI completion certificate, just certificate. I'm not mentioning about the diploma.
Right. So level 3 certificate in community, and so what I would say, I suppose, is the certificate. Am I right in saying that that's not accredited?
So I can answer the question from my perspective. You can answer it from yours, right?
Yeah.
So I would answer it from the perspective of the industry. So basically, you've got different accreditation levels to, according to Ofqual, and
Yes.
and level 3 is obviously a lower accreditation level than level 6. That's basically the main difference. So it's a lower level qualification. So from the point of view of the industry, there's not a lot of demand, at least in Scotland. There's not a lot of demand for it. It's pretty much, it won't get you very far. It won't get you into the courts. It won't get into the police and so on. So what you really want is the DPSI. So level 3 is basically for people who've never done any interpreting, who really kind of testing the waters. They want to have a go. They're not feeling very confident. They want to do it gradually rather than just jumping straight into the DPSI. So that's the way I would see it. Nicola, I don't know if you agree, but
yeah, absolutely. So level 3 community, as you very rightly said, doesn't get you anywhere near the courts, police, home office, any of that type of work.
And my question is not like, for example, when you guys do level 3 interpreting public community, something like that, it's not a diploma. That's my question. It's only just certificate.
Oh, yeah, so that I see what you mean. That's just the name. So I don't know who determines the names in these educational circles, but yeah, a level 3 can only be a certificate, a level 6 can only be a diploma,
Yeah.
and then level 4 is an award. That's just like the names that they allocate to the levels.
Yeah.
Because for us, they mentioned, sorry, if you don't mind if I ask her a question, I just want to make things clear. Because for us, some of us probably we are just working somewhere, they're waiting for us just to give them, at least show them something. Maybe I'm not able just to be prepared for the exam, just example I'm saying. So I can still get my fully completion certificate while I'm waiting for my diploma. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, so hold on. I think you're confusing things a little bit between the way we do things in the course and these. So these are completely different qualifications.
Yeah.
So the level 3 certificates that Nicola was talking about, there's a completely different certification, a completely different thing, right? So it's got nothing to do with this course. So if we gave you like our own in-house certificate that yes, ZR has completed this training course, he didn't do the exam, but he completed the training course, that's our in-house certification letter, let's call it that way, but it's not accredited to off-call standards, right? So basically what Nicola was explaining there, so there's basically I kind of touched upon these, in the first session, but I don't want to go into too much detail. But basically, in the United Kingdom, there's two basically learning routes you can follow. You can follow academic learning, you can follow vocational learning, and they're very separate. But actually, in the last 10, 15 years, they've been facilitating kind of movement between both of them to try and accommodate for people that learn in different ways, because not everybody. The academic route doesn't suit everybody, and there's a growing recognition of that, and that's why qualifications like the DPSI exist. They fall very much into the vocational training side of things. Whether it's called a certificate or diploma or whatever, under that accreditation framework is decided by someone in the government or in the powers that be, is not decided by us. So that's what Nicola was explaining. So that level 3 is called a certificate and not a diploma because someone decided that it's called a certificate. It's got nothing to do with another certificate you might get from someone else or from us that you completed the course, for example. Right? I don't know if that answers your question.
Obviously, us is more higher, level 6.
Yes.
If you actually get a diploma, yes, of course, this is the one you want to have.
Yes.
And my question is, you got a point. I'm talking about the completion certificate.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe all of us, we're not going to sit down for the exam.
Yeah, so
maybe
that
not ready.
Exactly. So that completion certificate we will give you as long as your attendance is, I think it was 80%, wasn't it? Yeah, something like that. So every week
85, they said.
85. Yeah. So Mirren deals in the office deals with that kind of stuff. Yeah, but that you will get automatically just for being here. Okay. But that doesn't qualify you as a DPSI interpreter. That's just our own letter from the company saying that, yes, this person attended the course and they attended a satisfactory number of sessions, and yeah, that might help you. And it's just something that we give you, for those of you that decide not to do the DPSI, so you don't walk away with anything, to prove that, at least you've done training, because lots of interpreters out there haven't done any training, never mind the DPSI, they've not done any training and they're out there working as interpreters. So at least you can show that, look, I haven't got the DPSI, maybe I couldn't afford it or I didn't do it for whatever reason, but I did training,
In the meantime, for example, maybe I'm not, I'm keep having a test, I'm not passing. But in the meantime, I can keep earning money with a certificate. At least I can show that the branch of the solicitor I'm working, and I'm just getting.
So
they will know I am trying to get it.
Yeah, so I think we'll revisit that topic later, because I'm just once again mindful of time.
Thank you so much. Now I understand.
Yeah,
because I was trying to even ask you about the level 3 interpreting community, because I knew it in Glasgow nobody accept that.
I know in Scotland nobody wants the level 3. I know that. Yeah.
Even when you say I have a level 3, they say no.
I was, and look, I was a senior manager for Global for 12 years, and I didn't accept it when I was a senior manager. So. Yeah, anyway, sorry, I know people want to ask questions, but I wonder if I can ask some questions before you guys. Nicola, we were talking before, earlier by email about the written units, and I wonder if
Yes.
that's something we could maybe bring up, because I think that's very, very relevant for some of the people that are thinking of sitting the exam. So I think
Yeah.
one of the things was the language availability, and obviously for Ziar, for example, who speaks Kurdish, the fact that he can sit with you guys and give you a month's notice, is great. And this is the other thing, guys. So our course finishes in June, in the beginning of middle of June. Knowing that, you could enroll you could decide to, for example, sit your exam in July. You can pay by installments, so you can sort that out with Nicola. Maybe Nicola, you can leave us your contact details or something at the end.
Sure.
Kind of makes it easier to pay that rather than a big lump sum, and start preparing for it. But yeah, so about the written paper, so we've got some students here very concerned about sitting the written units in front of basically typing, because the typing skills are not great. So
Yeah, not a problem. Yes, we can do it on paper, so you can handwrite. The way our exams work is, so again, on the standards for any other person who would join us, we would say you need to have two devices. You need to have one laptop in front of you, as you have now, and then you need to have a mobile phone or a tablet or something else, basically a second device. You would connect to the same Zoom call with both of the devices. So there are and you would position it a little bit like this, like I'm holding my phone. So the camera that's in front of me on my laptop is watching me and I'm speaking directly into it. The camera, which is on my phone, is watching the laptop and what's on my desk around. And so this is what we have to do when we're doing remote invigilation, because we do the exams remotely. So we need to make sure that you haven't got anything that you're not permitted to have. You would then handwrite your translation. You are permitted to use dictionaries, anything paper-based, so an actual book of dictionary, you can have that. And then at the end of the exam, we would ask you to use your camera on your phone to take a photo of the translation you have written on paper. You will email it to the school while you're still connected on the call. And then when the invigilator confirms that we have received the work, that's when your exam ends. So it's not a problem if you don't want to type. Oh, you're on mute.
Hi, can you just repeat that again, please? Sorry, Nicola.
Yes, so you can handwrite your work, and then you would just use your device to take a photo of the translation and send it off to the school, and then the exam would finish.
So I think the technical aspect of it, guys, we can discuss later, and I can clarify it, to make sure it kind of makes sense to people and how it would look like in practice. And obviously, if someone needed support, we could maybe even look at the possibility of some of you guys coming over to the office, and then we can support you to kind of set you up and so on. But the main point is that you can do the written units with pen and paper. I think that's the really key point here. The technical aspect of it we can sort out later, yeah, with more time, because once again, I'm mindful of time for Nicola.
Thank you.
But yeah, so there was something else I wanted to ask, but I'll maybe let someone else ask a question while I remember what it was. I don't know who asked first, but maybe I'll let Aga go next. Aga, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, hi there. Hi, everyone. So what I was going to ask, I remember we were talking about Unit 1 for consecutive and simultaneous interpretation, that we do get some materials, some topics in advance, couple weeks in advance. Is it still the case with ISL?
Yes, we give it one week in advance, so 7 days, and you will get the like a scenario sent to you by email, which will tell you exactly what it is. So they might say, I don't know, immigration officer interviewing somebody on sham marriage, or something that will really narrow down, what the issue is.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
That's okay.
And Shabazz, do you wanna go next?
Good evening. Good evening, Nicola.
Hello.
My question is, you told us that the exam fee for the full 5 module is $699. Suppose if I were to take exam and if I fail 1 or 2 modules, then how much would be the fee for that specific module? And the second question is, you said something about 6 months. So if I were to go for the exam via you, then I have to clear my full exam, full 5 modules within 6 months. And if I don't, what will happen after 6 months? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Right, so yes, the resit fee per unit, in case you do not pass the full exam on the first go, the per unit fee is £181. So if you only fail one unit, then once you get your results, we would say to you, okay, that's fine. If you want to resit, you pay £181, and we will then book you in, and that's when you get your fresh 6-month deadline. So if you get your results in April and you make that payment in April, you can sit that unit anytime up to October. In terms of the deadline, we set this just so that we don't have, people hanging around for years and years. So we say you do have to sit the exam within 6 months, and ideally we would like you to sit it in the 1 month. So you would take the April exam dates and do your oral one day and your written the following day. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, if you feel like you could still use some time to work on one of those elements, you can split it and do orals in April, for example, and written in May. What we wouldn't be able to do is break it down unit by unit. There's a couple of reasons for that. Unit 2 and Unit 3 are 15 minutes long. It's a waste of time, to be booking people for the sake of 15 minutes right from the off. The other thing is exam results can take up to 2 months to be issued. If you split your exam into individual units, so 1 unit a month, you're going to spend the best part of the year waiting for the final results to come through. So that's why we always recommend that just sit it in the same month if you can. And you have to sit it within that deadline. Otherwise your deadline finishes. However, if something comes up, for example, illnesses, holidays, obviously we're all human and we are flexible. So if you need to have an extension, there are, things in place that we can do. But what we wouldn't allow people to do is to just not communicate, drop off, and then come back 5 years later and say, well, I paid for it back in 2019, but then COVID came. Yeah. Which happens all the time still. So.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah, great. So, Nicola, I had another question regarding the simultaneous element of Unit 1. So, Unit 1, I believe, you'll have the consecutive interpreting role play and then the simultaneous elements. How is the simultaneous elements delivered? Is that pre-recorded?
No. So we've tested that, and that didn't work very well. So we don't do it that way. It's a conversation. So first you do your consecutive interpreting and you've got your phone like behind you because it's watching you. Then when you move on to the simultaneous interpreting, you will come off the Zoom call temporarily and you will receive a phone call through WhatsApp. So basically the invigilator will create a WhatsApp group call. And then there's this very complex thing about who's muted and who's not muted, which you will be told, don't worry. But basically what it means is that you're going to be hearing the speaker, so say the English speaker, speak through the phone into your ear, and you will be speaking in your language, and the Zoom call will be recording you. And then vice versa. And then you hang up on the WhatsApp and go back on Zoom for the rest of the exam.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's brilliant.
And it also helps that way because you can see the other person. So I think being able to read somebody's lips while they're speaking is really helpful.
Yeah.
And so.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the working through a recording is I agree, it's not ideal, and it's not realistic either.
No.
So, yeah, that's great. That sounds good. Yeah, sounds a good workaround. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to let Nicola go. So if you want to ask questions, now is your chance. I mean,
for me, I have only one. Still, for me, it's not clear how much you have to pay, because on the office they send us a different, and now they're telling me different. Now I'm confused.
So Ziar, part of the confusion might be with the fact that the CIOL fees are different as well. So
also because they told me a deadline is April. If I decide to sit for an exam, it has to be by April. But still, I don't know which day on April.
Yeah. So I'll recap that again. So we mentioned that in the second session, but I'll bring that up after Nicola goes. So basically, I'll just very, very briefly explain, answer your question, if I may. So there's, as Nicola was explaining, there's at least, there's actually more, but there's at least 2 accreditation bodies here or that we work with anyway. One of them is the CIOL, one of them is the International School of Linguists. So you can sit your DPSI either with one or with the other. Now, each one of them have got their own rules. Okay, so what you're referring to there is basically the rules of the CIOL. So with the if you decide to go with the CIOL, you would have to register by April, sit the exam by June, and pay their fees. And you can only sit once a year. And in your case, actually, you can't sit because I don't think they're offering Kurdish this year. So in your case, in your specific case, you want to go with the ISL. So the fees that would apply to you are basically the fees that Nicola is mentioning. So the exam would cost you £699. On top of that, there would be a £35 registration fee. And then once you pass the units to get your diploma, you'd have to pay your diploma fee. Is that right, Nicola?
That's it, yes.
Yeah, which was
150 for the full diploma.
150 for the full diploma. It still works out cheaper than the CIOL, I believe, in total. You should do. Does that answer your question, Zia?
Yeah, and I think even they provide the teacher as well. I believe so.
The what?
For
Sorry?
the session, they provide even I think they do have somebody just to help you.
Yeah.
I think per session you have to pay £60, something like that. If you want if you want a teacher to be with you for 1 hour, I believe so. If I'm right, Nicola, right?
I don't know, Nicola.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we've got language specialists. Yeah.
I used to speak to her a long time ago. I think she'll remember me.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Sir, just got somebody at the door. I'll be right.
That's okay. So yeah, Zia. So it's just different accreditation bodies and they have different rules. It gets a bit confusing. I think maybe what I'm going to do, I'm going to prepare a document with the differences between both of them to try and clarify things. There's also some slight differences, like she was saying, the site translation with them lasts 15 minutes, with the CIOL is 10 minutes. The way the simultaneous is delivered, the way you do the written translation. So it's the same qualification, it's the same exam, but there's small differences. And that includes obviously also the money you pay and how you pay and so on. Noha, do you wanna ask a question?
Yeah, just about Unit 1, because they will provide the topic in advance, I believe one week.
That's another difference. Yeah,
in
exactly.
advance, yeah.
Yeah.
But just I want to confirm for both, for simultaneous and for both of them, or for only one?
It should be for both, but we can ask Nicola when she comes back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, Joe, if you don't mind, please. Did you just said that if we go with the CIO, sorry, I'm sorry. The question is that actually CIOL exam is not happening this year. Did you just said that?
No, it is happening, but they've got a limited list of languages. So once Nicola goes, I don't want to keep her any longer than she has to, because she finishes at 5. She's actually working overtime to sit here, with us tonight. So after she leaves, I can go back to the CIOL website and show you the languages that you do. So the exams are happening, but they've got a limited list of languages. The advantage of the ISL is that they offer a broader list of languages on demand. And you've got that flexibility. For example, if you don't want to sit right after you finish the course, you could wait a bit longer. Or sometimes people have got holidays booked in June, so they actually want to sit a little bit earlier. You could do that. So you've got that level of flexibility.
What about the camera? She's saying that. So
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'll explain. This is actually very standard. I'm surprised the CIOL doesn't do it. This is actually very standard.
Yes, like how will we then we
don't
need
worry.
to. All right. Okay.
Don't worry about it. I'll explain.
All right. Okay.
It's simpler than it sounds.
Okay. All right. Okay.
CIOL, I think, is more easier to pass because you don't have to put the camera.
Is it? I wouldn't know. All right. So Nicola
is more easier.
Well, I'm not so sure. Nicola, we had a question just to clarify. So when you get to the topics for the Unit 1, the topics are for both the consecutive and simultaneous, right?
Yes, it covers the same, yeah.
And are they different topics or typically?
It's just the one topic. So the simultaneous will be linked to the conversation.
Okay, so the one topic to prepare for both elements of Unit 1. Okay, yeah, great. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Rasha, yeah, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, just a simple question. Will the target language always be English, or sometimes will be source language? And then the target language will be a language person.
So
For simultaneous, yeah, for simultaneous.
Okay. For simultaneous. So Nicola, for simultaneous, is it simultaneous both ways or just one way?
Both ways. That's correct.
Ways. Yeah, both ways.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So same as the CIOL. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Great. Any other questions? As soon as nobody had questions, as soon as Nicola left, everybody had questions. So don't be shy, guys, because Nicola's going to leave in a minute. Okay, Sana. Yeah.
Hi. Thank you for the explanation. Just would we get the result the same on the same day or?
No, results are about 2 months.
Okay. Also, for site transaction, just is this the same length of you said in 10 minutes before, Joa? Just this one is for 15 minutes. It's gonna be same length of context or different or longer?
So Nicola, the question here is, and I'm not too familiar with, I've not seen your past papers, and that's something we'll talk about later actually. So we did CIOL, the site translation element is 10 minutes, 5 minutes preparation, 5 minutes delivery. With you, it's 5 minutes preparation, 10 minutes delivery. So the question is the length of the text the same as the CIOL, or are the texts longer to reflect that? I mean, typically CIOL, I think, is like 120 words, 160 words, something like that.
I will have to come back to you on that because I'm not the best person to speak to on numbers of words, but I'll get back to you. I'll pop it in an email to you tomorrow.
But I think one of the things we'd like to do, Nicola, is in any case is get some past papers off you, so I can email you about that later, and we can have a look, Sana. We can have a look at past papers from the ISL and see how they compare with the other ones. And in any case, additional material to prepare, so it's useful.
No problem. I have put my email and our phone number in the chat. So yeah, but if you think of any other questions at all, please do feel free. If it's okay with you, I will have to leave you.
No, I think that's fine. That's perfect. No, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
In the other room.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be sending that presentation over to you first thing tomorrow as well, if that's all right, and then you can share that.
That's great. Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. You taking your time to, to come
no problem. It was lovely to meet you and to see you all.
You too. All right. Take care. Have a nice evening.
Take care. Have a nice evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.